Hello. I do not have an intro yet, so I'm just gonna say hello. Hello. Today I just want to talk about an artist that hits home for me that you all get into if you want. I just want to give the information out there for the artist Cuco. Cuco's first album, Wanna Be With You, came out in 2016 as I was getting out of high school. And side note, I'm just gonna completely use my take on it, and it's gonna just personally be my approach to an artist. It's you guys can look more into who Cuco is as a person and what he's done in the music industry. But I'm only going to talk to him as Cuco because I only know the artist and not him as a person, out of respect. I Wanna Be With You, it was, first time I heard it was summer to fall of 2016. First songs I heard from that album was Lover Is a Day, which has changed my life with how an artist can create a mellow, vibey type sound, which is what was completely new to me at a time because my background of music is wide variety, from rancheros all the way to heavy rock to indie to all over the place. But Cuco was different because he looked like me and he talked like me with the Spanglish, and he knows a lot more than me in Spanish, and I respect him and I want to learn Spanish through his music and people like him and their music rather than Duolingo, because that bird's scary. But Lover Is a Day is just Lover Is a Day. When you're in love, it's an infatuation. You adore that person, so time itself is irrelevant. So Lover Is a Day is one day. Like, this person is, it feels like forever, like it's ongoing, which is a really cool feeling. And just how he blends his words to the next, and the phrasing is whoa, like it blows my mind and keeps it still like just lax and just getting into it, so it's completely vibey. And after that, the order of his albums were Wanna Be With You, Songs for You, Chiquito, y Para Mí. So Wanna Be With You is more of, I admire you as a person and you're attractive, let me try to woo you in so we can be on the same page. But then Songs for You is more the romance and creating what that you and that person have, and that whole album was with that theme. But then Chiquito introduces Cuco as a person rather than him using his platform or using different songs for different topics. For Chiquito, it's just him as a person on the cover as an animation, which is pretty cool and pretty simplistic, but the aesthetic is very desert with a cactus and the desert behind him. But it's just, hey, this is me, bare bones, like the desert, bare bones. And Para Mí is completely different because the cover is his face more detailed, and so is the album. But the album, I can see, is more of what he feels, what has happened to him, and he's just opening himself up. And when that Para Mí came out, I listened to it back to front, and it sounds more of the arcade soundtrack. It's 8-bit crushed, like Super Mario, where those kinds of platformer video games with those soundtracks. It's just digitally, but still with the Cuco style, because when you hear him, that's his synthetic piano, what he does, because he's identified in the bedroom pop category, because he did make his music in a bedroom somewhere, in just the humble way about it. But people in the bedroom pop culture as well is Billie Eilish, but Billie Eilish versus Cuco are completely different. They're not versus each other, but it's apples to oranges. And I feel like that's how it should be with artists in general. You can't compare one to another. It's just who they are. But Para Mi was a great album. But in between the albums he created singles and featured on other people's records, like CRV, which is a really good song that he made, talking about just kicking it with his homies and just being in a CRV, which is, it has a label on the car, which is like, it's a mom car, but he made it cool, you know. It was just a car that he had, and it was just a car, but it's what you do in the car that had more significance, and you can make so many memories no matter where you're at. In general, that's just how you live. It doesn't matter if you look at it as a materialistic form, then why? Like, there's deeper meanings to everything, and just kicking it in a CRV is like, we've all been there, you know, just humble beginnings, which was really cool. But also he did a song called Search in 2019 with MC Magic and Lil Rob. So it's like the old school of the 90s and the veteranos and the Chicano culture, and with the new style and the new school of Cuco, and the blending of them both was beautiful, because it all just wrapped around and created Search, which is just one song, but in that one song it means so much, and personally it means so much for me, because NB Ryda is an MC who made it big in my local hometown of Glendale, Arizona, because he created a group called the NB Rydas, and that whole scene of people who were in the culture of being Chicano, that was it was more of a hip-hop and R&B type genre, but it was pop because it was popular at the time with the people in my family or my friends, and just who I was around. They all knew those songs, and it was personal in that aspect. So it was really cool that they all hopped on a beat together and created that, and I really appreciate that song. But recently Cuco has been doing more features and did a song with Young Gravy and Baby No Money, which is off the Goop. And Baby No Money and Young Gravy are great artists themselves. Young Gravy, the first time I heard him was with the song Mr. Clean, which was like super dope, because it was the meme culture at the time. Just, you can hear it in what he was talking about in the samples that he was using. Young Gravy is a super cool artist because he uses the samples with a sense of humor with it. It's really cool how he does it. And Baby No Money, respectively too, he makes it with humor, but he makes it his style as well. And with his song La La La, which was big on TikTok and everything, with the producer Y2K, and you know, he made a name for himself with that, and now it's the new school of Baby No Money, Young Gravy, and Cuco, who are all just vibing, very talented people in what they do, and what they made was a very fun and bouncy song that's like, they're going off, but it's not, you know, it's not surface level. I don't want to say surface level, but it's like their talent is being showcased in such a fun way. So it's a really cool song. You guys should check it out. Other than that, and what's been addressed to me was Cuco has been taking a more in the shadows approach to how he views himself or professionally. Okay, so there was a sexual allegation that was brought up. I have no idea anything about it, but I am contemplating more the question of, if you like music, do you like the artist, and what's the difference and everything like that. But my answer to the question of music versus artist is, especially in this age, we have to learn who the artist is as a person, because they are entertaining us, they are feeding us subconsciously, because whatever we put into our body, we have to learn what it is. And for several years, for decades, it's okay, that's good music that they made, but who are they as a person? They've been getting into crimes, and their path is not a path that you can relate to, but their songs are. Music can be used as a diary for some artists, and different ways like that. But with Cuco, I completely don't know. He hasn't made a statement about the allegations or anything like that, but now I know the allegations and everything going on in the situation with Cuco. I read it from an article, so I don't know how far away from the truth it is, but the situation at hand was Cuco was talking to this girl around the age of 16 when he was a couple weeks away from being 18, and she asked him if the age bothered him in any way, and he said no. And that's the whole thing that I read, but she didn't then screenshotted it and put it on Twitter and said and blew it up to where it was today. I have no idea if there was sexting or anything that was said, but that's not my place. That's not our place. We can only see it subjectively and just leave it at that. But I also feel like every Me Too movement situation, or just sexual harassment and sexual situations, should be seen case by case. And I want to open this part for an open discussion on in the comments, or just in general. How can you create boundaries? How can you, if you were the 16-year-old girl and you were bothered by the age difference, how do you bring that up to an older man, or an age gap? How can that be addressed? We need to be more aware of each other, and those awkward situations are bound to happen, so we just need to be more prepared as much as we can with from a place of love and a place of just caring for one another. So, but I wish him well, and if there is a victim in this, I wish him or her well. And you know, we all make mistakes, but if we stick on the mistakes, that's what's different. You know, it's if you stick on it, then you can never overcome it. And I wish him the best in his future, but the music and who he is as a person right now is a pretty cool dude. And yeah, I think you guys should still check him out and make your own opinion, because I am giving you all this, and we can have this conversation, but I don't want you to blindly trust me for what I'm saying, and everything needs to be looked critically. And yeah, I'm gonna end the video on that, because it's opened that conversation, and I'll leave that conversation for you guys, and whatever you guys want to talk about with his different discography and what he's done, and related artists, everyone in the Chicano culture. Whatever you guys want to talk about, that's on you. Please do the generic stuff that really would help me, which is the like and subscribe and all that jazz. So I appreciate it. And on the last note, just for my own personal interest, I want to shout out Suavecito pomade, which is hair products, and I really enjoy their clothing and hats and everything. Go check them out. They're from Santa Ana, California. That's the culture that I appreciate, and you guys should support them for being a local business, and a local business in your area that supports cultures that you are interested in and enjoy. So yeah, support local business and support your friends. Bye.